Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am a shameless fan of getting free stuff, especially when it is free, fancy, new stuff from big companies that actually seem to care about our particular subset of the hobby. What we have here is, as you can see, the Mark III, DartZone Pro Mark III. That was, in fact, sent to me by DartZone. I have the McPhersons to thank for that, as they reached out to DartZone on my behalf, oddly enough. And so they sent me two. They sent me one to keep and to do a review on, and one to give away while I was in Kansas, which I did, which was awesome. I had also already ordered one for myself, because I wasn't expecting to get one from them, so I do have two. And I'm sure you've all seen copious numbers of reviews on it, but here's mine. So, comes in a lovely box, concisely packaged. I do like that. It's got the Pro Red, which I, of course, would prefer orange, but I can't have everything I want. Red's also a really good color. What do we got in the box? Well, we've got the blaster, we've got the adapter, we've got two magazines, we've got both size darts, we've got some kind of looks like a nice optic of sorts, and it comes with iPro. That is one of the things that they started doing that I just cannot love enough, is that they're actually including iPro with these higher power blasters, which is just, I mean, it should just be industry standard at this point, quite honestly, and that is pretty cool. So let's get this thing out, get some AA's in there, and we will test it with the AA's. These are for the optic. And then, of course, we will take a look at it on a 2S and a 3S and see what kind of performance we get out of this thing. We got lovely weather. I'm gonna go plink. Let's do this. Right, we're going to do it with both full length and a half length. I'm going to do it on semi-auto for reasons. First with AA's. Let's see what we get. 142, 150, 149, 153, 150. 150 stock with AA's. That's fantastic. Let's try it with the half darts. 146, 153, 146, 153, 154. Yeah, that'll do. That will do. Let's try it with a 2S LiPo. Right, so now we've got the 2S LiPo. Now, 2S LiPo is 7.4, roughly 8 volts when fully charged, whereas 8 AA's is 12 volts, which is closer to what a 3S is fully charged. So the rev should be less. There should be less RPMs, and it definitely sounds that way, but we should have more torque because we should have better current. So let's see what we get on this 2S. Train? We will get a train on this 2S. 118, 117, 119, 118, 120. That is magnificent, because that is HVZ numbers just by switching to a 2S LiPo. Now it is HVZ legal. That's amazing. Half darts. 126, 132, 131, 129, 130. So a little bit higher with the half darts on the 2S as compared to the numbers were the same on the AA's. Fascinating. All right, let's try with the 3S. Right, this particular 3S, the battery housing, or battery cover, won't fit over it, but let's see what happens. 183, 179, 182, 184, 187. So, yeah, that extra torque and a little bit more voltage is getting us up into the 180s stock, which for flywheel is ridiculous. Here we go. Half darts now. 162, 161, 158, 154, 160. Well, that is just trippy. The 2S got better performance on half darts, whereas this one's getting poorer performance on half darts. It's weird. I'm sure there is math involved in there somewhere. Right. Let's go see if I can hit anything with it, because that's the real question. We'll use all the same battery combinations out on the range. Right, we're here on the range. AA's are back in, 5 rounds, full-length darts. Can I hit anything at all? Yes. That's fantastic! Try half darts. Half darts. That's a little bit higher than expected. Here we go. Up down's a little squiffly, but it fires straight. Let's try it on 2S. Right, 2S, so a little bit less power. Let's see what that does to the accuracy. Not good things. Let's try half darts. Right, now half darts. Well, there you have it. For 2S, use half darts. It's weird. 3S. All right, 3S, full berries. Let's see what we get. Again, high-low's a little off, but the side to side is dead on. Let's try half darts. Half darts. If I'd been aiming for those 2 bottles, that would have been very impressive, but I was aiming for the 25, so, could use some work. But, half darts on 2S was, I think, the best, which is fascinating. Different ammo might make a difference. I was using the darts that came with it, which are the bamboo darts, which is weird for a flywheeler, but, I didn't make the rules. Alright. I'm gonna do a little bit of full auto just to see what it's like, and then we're gonna talk about it. Alright, just gonna do full auto with the 3S because I think it has the best chance. That was much better than I was expecting, actually. Let's try half darts. Half darts on full auto, falling down the hill! It makes weird noises. I don't know if it's supposed to, but I like it. Alright, and clean this up, talk about it. Right, well, performance was for the most part very good. There were noticeable differences depending on which battery I was using and which length dart I was using. Some seemed to work better on certain batteries, other on others. That's something you're going to need to do trial and error for yourself to really get the grips with which length darts and exactly which brand of which length darts on which battery works best for your options. But the fact that they have HVZ, FPS, Nerf 4 FPS, and even higher FPS, all by just depending on which battery you put in, is absolutely amazing. That is, I mean, it's top-notch stuff, and it's really what we've come to expect from DartZone, and especially the Pro line, of really knowing what they're about and knowing what we're about, and that's really, really cool. Other little features that they've added that I really, really like, obviously they have, I'm pretty sure it's Picatinny rail. It might be slightly off, but top and bottom rail, which is really cool. Great for foregrips, master keys, whatever you want. Obviously your optics if you're into that sort of thing. It has standard buffer tube for the stock, so you can put any standard AR stock on there, plus any of their other adjustable stocks are all going to work on there, which is nice. It does actually lock properly in both nope, only locks to keep it from going forward. Doesn't prevent it from being pulled out, which if you're putting your sling on there might be a bit of a problem. But rubberized grip, super comfy like that. Nice small rev trigger, unlike they had on their the Spectrum. The Spectrum has kind of a oddly long rev trigger. Nice extended mag release that you can easily reach with your finger, like in that. This kind of feels like a foregrip, an angled foregrip, and I actually find that to be very comfortable and very nice. It doesn't get in the way of drum magazines, so you can still put drums in it, so that they put that far enough forward that that wasn't going to be an issue. The magazine adapter that it comes with does fit Talon mags. Theirs are much closer to katana style size, but their adapter will fit those. I have heard that they don't feed well though. I haven't actually tested that. Let me, well, one moment please. Nope, works fine. I know a lot of the early people who were sent them early were having some issues with some feed, and as you saw today, I didn't have a single feed issue. Nothing failed to fire, never pulled the trigger, nothing came out, working with these mags. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe the early prototypes weren't as good. I don't know. I just know that mine is working beautifully, so maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe it's because I'm left-handed. Who knows? Speaking of left-handed, the selector switch is not on both sides, but oddly, it's actually more left-hand friendly than you'd think, because if you're holding it right-handed, you actually can't, unless you got a really long thumb, it's actually kind of awkward to use your thumb to flip that switch. If you have it in an actual, firing position, it can be kind of awkward. You can just rotate it and get it. But if you're left-handed, it's actually quite easy to get it with your index finger or even your thumb. So that's neat. The optic that came with it, it's just a little holographic pinpoint, little red dot, but it's actually really quite nice. Surprisingly nice for what it is, all things considered. Picatinny rail doesn't lock on, it just has a locking lug, so it just slides on to whatever length you want it there. And it's, like I said, surprisingly nice for, coming with a toy. What else do we have to say about it? Okay, the fact that, yeah, it in the battery tray, you can just take the AA tray out. Come on. You fiend. Take the one screw right there out, and then the tray will just lift out, and XD60 connector. That is amazing on a level that's kind of hard, that's just genuinely amazing. Because they need to make it take AA's because that's the industry standard, but they just made it so you could just throw in a LiPo. And whatever motor options they chose, 2S puts you at HVZ, 3S puts you, or the AA's puts you at Nerf War, 3S puts you at 180s. That's genuinely impressive engineering. Is it the best it could be? Obviously not. Before I'd even gotten my hands on a Mark III, Out of Darts had already sent me their full upgrade kit for it with the cage and the wheels and all of their various other little additions that they've made. And so obviously there's a lot of modifications that can be made to it. It's a beautiful shell. The ergonomics on this it's symmetrical, which is just svelte. It's beefy. I love everything about the shell on this one. I am genuinely looking forward to doing some serious mods on one of these and having it as a potential HVZ blaster. Campbell Nerf Works already has a replacement barrel that allows you to undersling a Magnus, which I've seen the pictures. It looks gorgeous. I cannot wait for that to arrive. This one I'll be keeping stock. The other one will be getting all of the mods. Let's talk about the select fire setup on this. So it's got semi-auto and full auto. It doesn't have any kind of a burst mode, and that's fine. What really impressed me, and what I think is, I don't know that I would have thought of doing it this way, and I love that they did it, is that when it's in semi-auto mode, it is a mechanical pusher. It's a physical pusher. It's not motorized when it's semi-auto, which they could have done it so that you do a trigger pull and it just rotates once, like most select fire things do. But in this case, when it's in semi-auto mode, it is just a mechanical pusher, and it is a super snappy pusher. Once again, similar to things like the Rebel Mech or the Hailfire or the semi-auto FDL, it's clearly geared as opposed to levered, at least that's my guess, just because of how smooth it is and how snappy it is, and I love it. I love that feedback, I love the feel on that trigger. When you then go to full auto mode, it then is motorized. And so pulling the trigger no longer directly interacts with the pusher, but instead engages the motorized pusher, which is disabled. The pusher doesn't activate when it's in semi-auto mode and you pull the trigger, only when it's in full auto mode. So I haven't seen the mechanism is there, but I imagine that there is a physical disconnect from the pusher and then it also then engages a switch, which then engages the full auto pusher. I imagine it's going to be something like that, and that is, again, brilliant. I love the semi-auto snappiness, but then the full auto option. Now the rate of fire was a little bit low compared to things like, a full auto FDL or even an auto Strife or, a high-powered rapid strike or anything like that. But it was higher than I was expecting. It's not terrible, as is. For stock wars, obviously, for HVZ, it's a very nice controllable rate of fire on full auto, which I like. Obviously, people have upgraded the pusher motor and gotten it up to like 12 darts a second, which is nuts, which is great for things like Nerf wars or 5v5 stuff. Not so great for HVZ because you're going to burn through ammo way too fast. But on its stock configuration, it's actually a good controllable full auto for something like HVZ, where you could put down a lot of fire, but you're not going to run out of ammo in a blink of an eye. So all around, this is just a beautifully, beautifully balanced blaster stock. The mod potential is unquestionably there. As far as ergonomics, I definitely like this over, say, a Rapid Strike, miles ahead of a Hyperfire. The standard rail, standard buffer tube, all those kinds of little details, the fact that the adapter takes Talon mags, all of those little details that they threw in there that they didn't need to, but they did. They know what we're looking for, and they are, in fact, delivering it. And so this is an amazing addition to the DartZone Pro line. I cannot wait to get one modded up and really get its potential. And I'm really looking forward to what they come out with next. I know what I want. I want an SMG. I want an auto pistol. I want something that's half dart only, compact as it can get, and that fires 3-round burst. That's what I desperately want. I don't know that DartZone is ever going to be able to make that happen, just because they need to still be able to have AA's, which means there's a limit to how small they're ever going to be able to make it. If they made something purely either rechargeable or purely lipo, I doubt they're going to be able to do that because it requires a special charger. It's got more safety concerns, stuff like that. But that's what I really want, is something with a really fast 3-round burst. So this is more of an assault rifle type thing. I'd like to see something in an SMG that's got a 3-round burst. That's my wish list. We'll see if I ever get it. There are third-party ones that I'm going to get my hands on fairly soon. But yeah, there you have it. The DartZone Mark III. I love it. So good out of the box and so much potential. And yeah, DartZone, you're awesome. Thanks for sending me this. I look forward, hopefully, to reviewing more stuff for you because, you're doing such good stuff. Right. Thank you for watching. Give me that.